worked at the formula, I think. Then F or FV is minus theta A dV by dz or delta V by delta. Right? And then I told you that we'll solve an example. 10 which number was that? 70 back. I mean, we are not really following order, so by coincidence only we get it, but so we still have these questions remaining. Ninth question is about viscosity. Let's do it first, right? Because viscosity has very few questions. This is probably one of two in the book, or maybe one of one. Okay, a metal block of area 0.1 meter square is connected to a 0.01 kg mass via a string that passes through over an ideal pulley considered massless and frictionless. Oh no, laws of motion. देखाई नहीं ना जेवट डायग्राम अब आउतो तो laws of motion માં કે નતો આવતો. That's the figure at the top. Everyone found the figure? Block and a little ball hanging down. Yes or no? Okay. So details are given. Area of that block is given, right? Actually, that's area of the bottom. Mind way. Metal block of bottom area. Okay. So that it is clear to you which area we are talking about, right? Metal block of bottom area or area of bottom 0.1 meter square. A liquid with film thickness 0.3 mm is placed between the block and the table. So what's there between the block and the table? Film. That is, there is a liquid. You pour liquid and then you place the block. That is what is being done. Okay, a block moving with the injection amount. So this is what it looks like. Shape doesn't matter. This is how much mass? 0.01 kg. Right, and here is okay. Now there is a liquid everywhere here. So what happens is when you press the block, there is a liquid layer between the block and the table. Understood? Now you should think about what I'm saying. This is what it looks like. There will be a thin liquid layer between the block and the table. Got it? Yes. Easy to understand that one? Okay. Now, what's the question? Read it further. What's the question? Come on. Block moves towards the right side with how much speed? 0.085 meter per second. And is this constant?
Yes.
Okay. So this block is moving towards the right side with this much speed, constant speed, 0.085 meter per second. Now, what next? Find the coefficient of viscosity. What's the symbol? Eta. We have to find eta. Right? This is what we are going to do. Now, first of all, let's understand what's happening here. Forget about viscosity for a moment. Let's say this is smooth table. Then hopefully you remember that we have learned that when you hang a mass like this, there is going to be an acceleration.
Yes.
And we solved lots of questions where we had to find acceleration in such situations. Correct? By drawing FPDs and then by making equations and solving them. Alright?
Yes.
Chapter 4. Am I wrong? 45. Laws of motion. Fine?
Yes.
But this question is slightly different. Look at this. Acceleration is 0. Understood?
Yes.
Acceleration is 0. So we will draw FPD once again and all the forces should be balanced. Do you remember that when all forces are balanced and they cancel each other, the acceleration becomes 0. Let's show it like downwards, upwards, okay. Right side, n. So n and mg are not big problem. If there is t towards right hand side, there is going to be some acceleration towards right hand side, but there is not. Why? I repeat what I asked you. If there is tension towards right side, there should be acceleration towards right side, but it's not there. So there is some other force that is cancelling T. It will be viscous force. Very good. Because there is a fluid here, and you see, upper layer of fluid will try to move with the block. Lower layer of fluid will try to stick to table. I repeat what I said. Think of this fluid. Upper part of the fluid will try to go with the block. With how much velocity or how much speed? 0.085. But the lower part of the fluid will try to stick to the table. So do you realize that here there is, here the liquid has some V which is 0.085, but over here the V is 0. So there is a difference of velocity in two layers. That means there is a velocity gradient. Clear? She knows she has to stand up. Stand up, Dhruvangi. First of all, where's your mom? Okay, now you were not able to see. This is very rare. Not being able to see invokes a smile. Alright, no problem. Sit down. Please do not test my patience. Okay? I'm saying that with a very calm head, and only I know how difficult it is to say that for me. Alright? Okay. So we have 0.085 is the speed here, and over here the speed is 0. Now, there is a difference of velocity between two layers, there is a velocity gradient. Okay. How much is this thickness? Is that mentioned? If we can find it, we can even find the velocity. How much is it? 0.3 mm. Is that right? That is what is given? 0.3 and 0.30 same. Yes, if you don't care about significant digits, which I am not worrying about right now. Okay, so 0.3 mm is this thickness. So, do you agree that we can easily write that F3 is equal to, in magnitude only, eta into area 0.1 meter square? I think that's the area of the block.
Yes.
The area of this bottom layer. You understand what I'm talking about? The area of that layer is 0.1 into delta V by delta Z. That is 0.085 divided by. I give that formula. Putting the minus sign only is so that you can take care of the negative that is to come here. I have already adjusted that. Right? Suppose I do it, wait, perfect way. So I have to call this as 0.1 and 0.2. Then I have to do V2 minus V1 upon Z2 minus Z1. Then I'll get it negative. V2 is 0 minus 0.085 upon Z2 is 0.3 mm minus 0 mm. I hope that makes sense. If I do that way, we're going to have a minus sign. But like I said, I'm not putting minus here and I'm also changing this. So everything has been taken care of. Understood? Everything has been taken care of. So this is what we get as F. Now, if you have got this as F, we can put it here. Right? And we know that velocity constant, acceleration 0. So if this has acceleration 0, how much do you think this has acceleration? 0. That's right, because both are attached by a string. Clear? Okay, drawing its F please. mg. So 0.01 g upwards tangent. Is this t and that t same? Is this t and that t? Is both f same or not? Sure?
Yes.
Okay. So because this has 0 acceleration and this also has 0 acceleration, we can find it, isn't it? So by FPD, okay, using these FPDs as a is equal to 0, Fv is equal to t is equal to 0.01 g. Yes or no? Or was it too fast? It came out of nowhere. Acceleration 0, t is equal to 0.01 g. Acceleration 0, Fv is equal to t. So Fv is equal to t, which is equal to 0.0. Alright? Okay, second equation, second law. Sigma F external is mass into acceleration. That's what it is. It is just put values and find out what do we have to find? Coefficient of viscosity, that is eta. Hurry up. You have a minute. Done? Okay. You want me to come over there? Are you feeling alright? Huh. It will be Newton per meter square second. And average minus 2. Because it was finished. Okay. I'm not going to do the calculation on the board. I just tell you the unit. See, you can easily make the units if you know the formula. So if you want to make unit of eta, then eta in units should be equal to Fv upon area into dz by dt. And that is nothing but Newton per meter square. dz is a distance, so that is meter, and velocity, so meter per second. Finally, it's cancelled, so you get Newton per meter square into second, or you could write it as Pascal second. But be careful. Write it like this: PA dash S. Okay, this dash does not mean subtraction. एक वक्त मैंने कोई पूछा सर minus कहीं, it is multiplication. When you write the unit, if you write it directly like this, तो कहने खबर नहीं पड़े what you are writing. It will look like PAS. That is not the unit. The unit is PA into second. That is Pascal second. Right? Or better, if you want to avoid confusion, there is nothing wrong with this unit. Newton per meter square second. Alright? Newton per meter square second. Fine, so that's the unit of coefficient of viscosity. You have studied other units in chemistry? Okay. It was given for homework. No problem. He knew that I was going to teach you, so he skipped over. Right? Okay. Physics માં વધુ જ આવે છે, ઓછું નથી આવતું, so you don't have to worry. One more unit. This one is the SI unit, the CGS unit. The CGS unit. CGS unit, that is 1 centimeter raised to minus 2 second. This thing, it has a name. This thing has a name. Okay, it is called Poisson or points. Right? The name of this unit is points. Okay, the name of this unit is points. Remember, it's not the SI unit. Be careful. It is not the SI unit. Okay. CGS unit of coefficient of viscosity is what? Polar koi naam nathi. Let me tell you that this does not have any kind of name. Right? You can write Pascal second or Newton per meter square. Okay, so I think there's no other question regarding viscosity. Right? If you ever find one, do tell me in the textbook. Now, let's go to the next topic, and that is Stokes' law and terminal velocity. Okay. Sorry. એમાં Reynolds number. Am I right? After we complete Stokes' law, we'll talk about Reynolds number. Okay, so this is very important from neat point of view, right? So let's see what is Stokes' law first of all. Stokes' law is again a law. What is meaning of a law? Law is something that is experimentally verified, but does not have a concrete theoretical basis. I repeat what I have said. A law is something that we know is true from experiment, but does not have good theory behind it. That is, nobody derived it. For example, Newton's laws of motion, they were not derived. By looking at things around himself, Newton was able to decide that there are a few laws in nature. Understood? Tusi Vedant? Okay. So Stokes law. Well, first of all, let me tell you the formula. Stokes law is 6 pi eta r b. Right. So what are the terms? Then we'll talk about how we can get an idea of this, or how this would have been derived, or how this would have been formed. So eta of course stands for coefficient of viscosity. What is this force? This S is the viscous force or resistive force acting on a small sphere of radius r moving in a viscous fluid. Moving in a viscous fluid. Okay. This force is the resistive force or viscous force acting on a small sphere is moving in a fluid. Okay. What does this mean? Let's draw a diagram to understand what's going on. Let's say this is some fluid and there is a tiny metal sphere. You understand what I'm saying? Suppose there is some fluid, water, air, glycerine, anything. Alright? Inside this fluid, here is a small sphere. How much is the radius? And let's say this is moving. In any direction would do. Right now I'm taking, let's say it's moving downwards with a speed v. Let's say it's moving downwards with a speed v. The whole thing is not about a preferred direction. Any direction would do. So let's say this is moving downwards with a speed v. In that case, when this tries to move, the fluid will oppose that. It will resist. What is the meaning of resist? That is to oppose. Okay, it will oppose that motion. So it's trying to move down. So the fluid will try to stop it. So the fluid will apply force on this solid, on this sphere. I repeat what I said. The fluid will apply force on this sphere. In which direction? Upward. Okay, it will apply a force upward. Why is it doing that? Because the fluid is trying to stop this sphere from moving. Think of a badminton shuttlecock. I'm sure you would have played with it at least once in your life. Right? Do you realize that when you throw it up, of course gravity is acting, no problem. But air also affects it, yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And you hit it very hard. At that time, it's moving fast, but very soon the speed will decrease.
Yes.
Why? Because of this kind of force. So let's say the shuttlecock is moving to the right side, very fast. But because of that viscous force which is in opposite direction, so very quickly its speed will decrease and then it will become slow and slow down. Noted that? Every time? Yes, yes. No, don't bring surface tension into the picture. I'll tell you why. Surface tension only acts on the surface, right? So this material, this sphere is in the bulb. It is inside. A molecule, by the way. We are talking about, let's say, a small ball that you have dipped inside water and now you are trying to move, or maybe a small stone that you are trying to throw in air or water. Understood? So that's why we are not talking about surface tension, right? This is on the inside. Yeah, so again, this trying to go down, so the viscous force will be in opposite direction. The viscous force will be in the opposite direction. Velocity downward. So viscous force, suppose velocity would be right side, then viscous force would be left. Okay? Sure? So that viscous force is 6 pi eta r v. This formula is called Stokes. Obviously, this is only true for cube knuckles or radius cantilever. You understand what I am saying? This is not even valid for any other shape. It's only, this formula only valid for a sphere. Got it? Right? Okay. Then what are the terms further? This F is that viscous force. You can still write Fp if you want, no problem. Okay. Eta. What is eta? Coefficient of viscosity of this fluid, right? It's 1. Eta is coefficient of viscosity of the fluid. R for radius of the sphere. And V for speed of sphere. And alternatively you can write it in vector form also. Alternatively you can write it in vector form, and that is as follows. I hope you see what's the difference between this and this. Minus क्या देगा? The direction, yes. Force is a vector, velocity is a vector, but these vectors are in opposite direction. And whenever you have it in opposite direction, you should write a minus sign that indicates opposite. Right? One more time when we use this, if you remember. कैसे? Multiplication of a scalar with a vector. If k is negative, the directions are opposite. Everyone? Oh, type trivial. Okay. Probably the count is now 10. So we use it about 20 times. Okay, we might have reached the count of 10. A few more times to go. Okay, so this is what we have here, opposite direction. Right now, how would people have come up with something like this? Okay. The simplest answer is by doing same kind of experiments again and again and again. Let me tell you how. It's that by taking one sphere, let's say of radius r, and by throwing it and allowing it to fall with some speed, by varying the speed you can get an idea of how much will be the force. So in repeated experiments V will be changed and F will be found. Or alternatively bigger sphere, so radius will change and once again the force is found. Right? So by using such ideas or such experiments, we can get a hold of what is Fv depending on. And suppose you don't want to do experiment, then there is one more way to get hold of it, and that is dimensional analysis. આ તમને સુનિલ સરે કરે, મેં વિડિયો જોયો, તમે જોયો કે નહીં મને ખબર નથી. Sorry? What? हाँ, મને તો ખબર પડી ગઈ, મને તો પહેલેથી આવડે. Okay, so let's try to do it like this. So the method of dimensional analysis is as follows. I am not going to full detail, we have done this earlier. We can think that this F should depend on eta, should depend on r, and should depend on v. Right? It is reasonable to think that, because generally what happens is the faster something moves, the more the fluid opposes. Can you notice that? If you take a badminton racket, it swishes. Have you noted that swish? Why does it swish? Because when you try to move it very fast, it will apply a lot of viscous force. Because of that, the net will vibrate. Okay, and that is what produces that sound. In fact, that's true for everything. Even if you take a rope and move it fast, it would switch. Correct? Okay. So basically, how much force is applied depends on speed. If you do it very slowly, less force is going to be applied. The other thing is obviously radius, because if you take a large sphere, we expect that more force will act. So these are similar assumptions. Just like that, if viscosity is more, see, if viscosity is more, what will happen is if this will try to move, because the fluid layers don't want to go away from each other, when this moves, you realize fluid has to move. And each other the fluid am holding upper jumper. Correct or not? So when all that happens, there is definitely going to be some viscous drag, like we have studied earlier, between layers. So it should depend on all this. So you write it as A, B, and C. Then you put dimensions of force. What are dimensions of force? M raised to 1, L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. It's real, you know it, right? Okay. So that would be equal to dimensions of eta. આ તો મને નથી આવડતા. તમને આવડે? અરે એમ થાય કે આવડતા જ. Never mind. Dimensions of eta are Pascal second. So m raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 1. Confirm. Pascal is pressure. M raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2. A Pascal is a pressure. And into second. આવી રીતે થઈ જાય. કઈ યાદ રાખવું હોય નહીં. ઓકે? 1 and 2 5 થી વધુ ન આવડતા. Okay? But I can make anything on the fly. Velocity આવડે કે નહીં? Sorry, radius. Radius તો સૌથી easy. L raised to 1 or L. And velocity is L raised to 1, T raised to minus 1 meter per second. પછી આને સોલ્વ કરવાની equation. Okay, that part is for you to do on your own. હું નથી કરાવતો. Okay? So ultimately you will get the Stokes law. Now terminal velocity. What does Stokes law have to do with terminal velocity? First of all, we should understand what is terminal velocity. Terminal no meaning to that. What do you think is the meaning of the word terminal? At the end. Terminal is terminal means last. Proportionality is away. So what I need to say is, by this method you can never find that the constant is 6. You cannot find it. Constant is some constant k, no problem, right? And that particular constant will be dimensionless. This will be dimensionless. So it's okay if you don't write. Yeah. Terminal velocity is the velocity at the end. You should thank that there is terminal velocity. Otherwise, when raindrop will fall on your head, it will hurt very badly. See, what happens is as follows. Let's say that there is some cloud at some height, maybe 1 kilometer. From that height, water drop will fall. Now, you know that as it falls down, it's going to get an acceleration g. So speed વધતી જાય, correct? That doesn't happen. At some point, what happens is when that droplet, which is approximately like a sphere, same topic, Stokes law, sphere is moving in a fluid. Which fluid? Air. Water is moving in air. Air is a fluid. So what happens is that this sphere will start to get upward force, viscous force, which is opposite to its velocity. Understood what I have drawn here?
Yes.
Downward force, downward speed, direction of motion downward. So viscous force upward, opposite direction. Absolutely clear, right? Minus. What does that minus indicate? Velocity, if it's downwards, then viscous force shall be upward, opposite. So because of that, what will happen is that the speed will not increase, or it will not increase continuously. After some point, the speed will become constant. You understand what I'm saying? First it will increase, I agree. From 0 it will start increasing 10 meters per second, 20 meters per second. Ultimately a point will come where the speed becomes constant. But it changes no time. That's why it is called terminal means at last. That is till the end the same velocity will remain. Understood? Till the end the same velocity will remain. It will become constant. The velocity becomes constant after a while. That's called terminal flow. Okay. So we will actually find out what's that expression. Okay. So here is the whole thing. Terminal velocity of free falling sphere. Okay, that's the whole type. Terminal velocity of freely falling sphere. What meaning of freely falling? Drop. Okay. So FB, if at some time velocity of the sphere is v downward. Okay. So here in the diagram, let's say it is in some fluid. Okay, so this is that sphere which is in a lot of fluid. It is having a downward speed v. So do you agree that viscous force is upward? Alright? Which other forces could act? It is freely falling. So when you drop something, why does it fall? Because of gravitational force. So then definitely gravitational force, mg. So I am going to write it as msg. S for sphere. Got it? S for the sphere. msg. There is one more force. You see, this is also a fluid. So there will be upward buoyant force. Fb. Right? Fb is buoyant force, Fb is viscous force, and msg is the weight of this thing. Right? So we can say that initially V increases, but a time comes when velocity becomes constant, that is v is constant, and acceleration will be 0. So why would this happen? You know, some of you might have a question regarding that also. Okay, velocity increases, but you know, the reason is Fb. Look at the value of Fb. Fb is 6 pi eta r v if this radius is r. So do you realize at start, when you just drop it, speed is nearly, when you drop something, what's the initial speed? 0. Clear? So starting में Fb नहीं होते. Why? Because v is 0. Got it? So their gravity will take upper hand. Gravity will dominate and it will start pulling this down. But as it starts to pull down, what will increase? This v will increase. So do you realize that this v itself becomes the cause that as v will increase, the opposite force will also increase. So a time will come when this opposite force, these two together, will exactly cancel mg. I repeat the whole thing. At start, this is nearly 0. So only mg is important. So it will start pulling it down. So speed will start increasing. But as speed increases, Fv will start to get stronger. Make sense? Yes or no? A point will come where Fv will become so strong that Ft and Fb together will exactly cancel mg. So both force cancel. Velocity becomes constant. Acceleration becomes 0. Got it? Then everything is balanced. You understand that? So velocity will neither increase nor decrease. Are we going? It will not change. Understood? It will not change. So, to find terminal velocity, one thing is clear. So, when v becomes equal to vt, that is terminal velocity which does not change. When v becomes equal to vt, that is terminal velocity. So, when v becomes constant, that is it becomes terminal velocity, acceleration is 0 and sigma f external should also be equal to 0. Okay, equilibrium. Body is in equilibrium. Put all forces, upwards positive, downwards negative, as usual. How many forces?
3.
Right? So, 6 pi eta r vt. Why am I writing vt? Terminal. Okay, vt for terminal speed or terminal loss. Raise your hand. Do you remember FB's formula? No punishment. Okay, don't worry. Even if you get it wrong. Do you remember FB? I'm going to put FB here. FB. Okay, I was expecting that everyone would be knowing it, but still not. No problem. A few days more, you will know. Alright. Put your hands up. Pina. Rho. Take it. Rho. Volume immersed. Okay, whose density is this? Fluid. So let's write L. Okay. Volume immersed into G. Sit down. We're done. So that is it. Now when total force is 0, you can say these forces are balanced. So you can either write it as minus now ms. Alright, I could directly write MSD if I want, but I will not. I will write it in form of mass, I write it in form of density. Mass is equal to, mass of sphere is equal to density of sphere into volume of sphere. Raise your hand if you remember volume of sphere. No noise at all. Nobody will move at all. Who knows formula for volume of sphere? ચાલો કઈ વાત નહીં, બાકીનાને હું કોઈને પણ પૂછું છું, બરાબર? નો આવ્યું તો લખવા માટે તૈયાર, કારણ કે આ તો કમ્પલસરી ને. Put your hands down. Now Donald, volume of sphere. જોરથી બોલે, હું કેટલો એફર્ટ આવ્યો, તમે મને અહીંયા દુખવા માંડ્યો. હજી ન સમજાણું. 4/3 pi r cube. ગોઠવણી બચાવી લીધા હો તમને, બરાબર ને? નહીં તો લખવું પડે. સીધા તમે ઓલું મૂવી જોયું છે નીલ બટે સન્નાટા? નથી જોયું? It's worth watching. જોજો. Okay, I recommend it. Okay, એમાં આવી બધી ફોર્મ્યુલા માટે સરસ સરસ ગીત બનાવે કે કેવું કે સરફેસ એરિયા ઓફ સ્ક્વેર 4 pi r સ્ક્વેર. ઓકે, એક એવી લેંગ્વેજ બોલે આપણને સમજ જ ન પડે. But she is making nice songs on how to remember these formula, right? જોજો કઈ વાર તમને કામ આવે. It will save you from me, right? So here 4/3 pi r cube. That's the volume of the sphere. Okay, next time risk no लो, याद રાખીને આવો. I did send you the list. Okay, so here what should we write for volume immersed? What should we write for volume immersed? Volume of sphere. Same as આવશે ને અહીંયા. So 6 pi eta r vt is equal to, when this term goes on that side, I can take 4/3 pi r cube common, g common. Yes or no? What's this value? This value is also 4/3 pi r cube. Yes. So when I take this these terms on that side, both these terms on that side. I can take common. What's remaining behind?
Rho S minus rho S.
Rho S minus rho S. Clear?
Yes.
हम जाएगा sign change is नहीं is that fine? Okay, rho S minus rho S. Okay. So this is what we get. Now what cancels? R cancels. Very good. So VT equal to what else is cancelled? Pi is cancelled. So you get 2 by 9 R square G rho S minus rho S. मारी वो के लिए तो मजे करो divided by eta. Oh, मेहनत करी तो याद रखो. But you can see the derivation is not that term. Pi is cancelled. 6, 4. You can cancel with 2. 3 into 3 becomes 9. 1 R is cancelled. बाकी बदला. Okay. Must remember it. Like me, if you find that you cannot remember it easily, then I suggest that you practice this derivation. रोज एक बार करना जोया होगा 3-4 लाइन न पढ़ी. I'm sure by the end of the week or by the end of 5 days you would know how to do it. कोई तुमने पूछे ना तो ये तुम्हें कर नाखो फटाफट. Right? So this is the formula of terminal speed. So like let's say you want to find out with how much speed raindrops can fall on your head. So you need a few things. One, radius. Obviously, larger the raindrop, with more speed it falls. After everyone notices that,
Yes.
right? Eta is coefficient of viscosity of air because that raindrop is moving in air. This would be air around it. Rho S here. Rho S is density of that sphere. The sphere is made of water. L for fluid, that is air. So we just need to put these values and we can find out.
So this is air.
We have derived it in general, but if you take that case where you want to find out the speed of the raindrop, then raindrop is falling in air, so then it will be there. Little bit, but it will be there, right? How much is density of air? Yeah,
1
one.
kg.
It's very small, but on water it is enough, right? So we have to consider. If you don't consider it, you will get a slightly wrong answer. That's it. So this is it. Alright? A few simple things that come out of this. Is this fine?
Yes.
ET is directly proportional to R square. So instead of taking a sphere of radius 1 mm, you take a sphere of radius 2 mm. Then it will fall 4 times faster. Not 2 times, but 4 times. Alright? And interestingly, do you notice that Vt directly does not have any relation with mass? Do you realize that directly it does not have any relation with mass? Yes, but it has relation with density. So indirectly, it's there.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Fine. So that's the formula of terminal speed. Right? Okay. So that's enough. Now I don't know about you, but my throat has already given up. I don't want to speak anything. Right? So હવે શું કરવાનું? વાતો કરવાની.